One of the first photo shoot that I did was with the amazing Tina Sani ji, and I remember that photo shoot was in 2011, so almost a decade. Tina ji, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you, Mobeen. Always a pleasure.
So Tina ji, how what's the one thing that keeps you grounded during these times?
Can I actually tell you that it's the earth that keeps me grounded? That's my latest passions, which actually is a concept called earthing.
Wow.
And I had started reading about it and the many benefits of it. And so I coupled it with the fact that we were in quarantine and those are long days. As you know, I live right across the sea. So that was a huge, at least I was not looking at blank walls or just houses around me, but I was looking at an expanse, which is just the open sea. And I have a beautiful garden downstairs. So I decided that I think I'll just go down and see if I can just be amongst the plants and see what I can do. So I started another passion, which is growing vegetables. Just interested me so much.
That's very profound, yeah. So, regarding your singing, your music, who has
Mhm.
or have been uh, instrumental in developing your, unique style, or who have you been inspired by?
Interestingly, music was never really a very conscious career for me. It just unfolded, and it was almost walking into the unknown. Not almost, it was walking into the unknown.
Right.
Didn't know this world at all. I had a voice, a natural voice, a natural ear. I was very lucky to be born with that, but that needed to be cultivated. And I think that I would give 100% credit to my first Ustad Nizamuddin Khan Sahab, who was from the Delhi Gharana. Uh, when there was this kind of like a concept that Ustad will come to the house back 30 years, 40 years back. And, they would come and teach you in your homes. And they were very good Ustads at that time. And so this person, Nizam Sahab, would come to the house. And I had no idea of what he was going to introduce to me. My Ustad, when he first came to teach me, I was very clear with him. I said, look, I don't want to learn any filmy songs. You teach me classical. I want to know what this is. And he began with the first lesson and he had me hooked.
So that was very, very,
Yeah.
interesting to know. So, how would you describe, your music in your own words?
I think it's introspective. I have always, it's so funny that part of me never changed. And I was going through some of my old stuff in my earliest interviews I was reading, and I was saying this even then. I sing for myself, and I just hope that people like what I do, because then I can sing for them as well, in terms of, I can expose my singing.
So, Tinaji, what had been your most memorable performance till date, whether here or abroad?
There was a concert that I had, a performance I had in Zagreb in Croatia, which changed a lot of how I thought I perceived, or I thought people perceived my music. I thought words, because I sing a lot of poetry, I thought words have to be important, and understanding words are very important. Otherwise, how else, there is, how would I emote it? Uh, so I go into this wonderful performance hall, and there could be about like 800 people there. and maybe just two Pakistanis in the audience, one of them being Arya Azhar, who arranged this whole thing. And I was like, this is going to be fun. I knew about it. I mean, it's not that I was a stranger to it, but I like these challenges. And I said, all right. Now they don't even, most of them don't even understand English. So however one was able to communicate, it just came to be my favorite performance because the audience was so receptive. I mean, they were almost hanging on to every word that I was singing. And you know, that energy really gets you more interested. And then at one point, I remember singing one of Faiz's Nazim's Mere Dil Mere Musafir, which he wrote in exile. And it's a sad poem and something so universal about it. I mean, so many, I mean, we're talking Europe, you know, so we're talking about so many people who've moved and so I took a moment to just give them a little background about it. And I told them, look, you know, this is a song that this poet had written and he wrote it in exile and he's looking for, he has no friends, he has no home, he has no address. And then that was it, you know, I started singing it. And we had teary eyes in the audience and there was somberness. And after the concert, a guy walked up to me and he was from Russia. And he said to me, he says, you know, I know that I didn't understand all the words, but I understood everything because I have come from Russia and I'm away from home and I could feel the sadness. I know how it feels to be away from home. So, you know, actually, human beings are so alike, so alike. Um, which is no news for anybody. It shouldn't be any news for anyone. I mean, we sing this, we cry at the same stuff, we feel the same stuff, we all want to be liked, we all like to be wanted, we all like to be accepted everywhere, I mean, anywhere in the world. And if we could just understand the fact that we're just so connected, and if we don't make language or skin color the barrier, you know, I mean, that is so pertinent today. Um, it's a difficult one because we live in a very interesting world because everything is really perceptions. I sometimes wonder, um, you know, Rumi talks a lot about veils, like the Quran talks a lot about veils. And Quran also talks a lot about whoever we want, God says, whoever we want, um, he will understand. Whoever we want to hide it from, he will not be able to see it, even in plain sight. That's why Rumi said, when God wants to hide something, he puts it in plain sight. So how strong are perceptions, you know? And I think it's something that taught me a lot also on another level. It's you know, how many times I've been wrong about perceiving something. And that really should sober us up.
Absolutely.
How many times, and you know, good way of getting to know yourself. I mean, that's what I learned for myself. People say, how do you get to know yourself? I mean, how does one get to know oneself? What's a good practice? I say observe your reactions.
I can relate to that as well. You know, when it comes
Yeah.
to people who view photographs as well, sometimes it's a lot of subtlety involved as well, more than lighting a subject. Uh, this reminds me to ask you again. Uh, Please tell us about that incident that you had in Islamabad, where a volunteer did not recognize you and did not let you go to your own event or something.
By the way, that's happened a couple of times. So I was going to perform for the Fairs Mela. And there were huge posters of us, you know, of me. all around, obviously, because I was going to be performing that night. And so Adil Hashmi and I walked in together. The audiences were inside. And the usherers, the people at the gate, were relatively young people. And so we walked in. We didn't walk in, we were at the gate. And so there was a queue, and both of us stood in the line because we were going to go through the same gate. And so when it became our turn, the chap said, "Ji, aapke ticket kidhar hai?" मैंने कहा कि जी टिकट तो नहीं है। तो उन्होंने कहा कि जी तो फिर तो आप अंदर नहीं जा सकती। मैंने कहा हाँ जी, फिर ये प्रोग्राम भी नहीं हो सकेगा। अच्छा, he thought I was threatening in some sort. And then Adil stepped in. He said, "Bhai, inhone perform karna hai." And he looked at me and he looked at the poster and he was so embarrassed. So it's happened a couple of times, and it's so funny when that happens, because I don't know. I think I get some mean pleasure out of it. Honestly, some mean pleasure, because I know I will go in. I know it's kind of like, and uh, I think their expressions are so cute because they're all young people and they haven't really seen me much. But let me tell you what I'm shocked at. I am totally shocked. So during quarantine, you wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
And you go, if I have to go shopping. I'm amazed people recognize. What is it that I'm amazed? I mean, I wear glasses and I have this. I mean, a lot of times people recognize me, not otherwise, but they will say, "Humne aapki awaaz se aapko pehchana." So that's fine. I relate to that. I mean, if I were to hear say, yeah, I would recognize a lot of singers through their spoken voice.
Tina ji, thank you so much, for
Thank you.
being a part of this. And I look forward to spotting UFOs with you once, travel resumes.
We're gonna do it.
Yes,
We're gonna do it. We'll
yes,
find one.
yes. As somebody
Okay.
said, AC after Corona.
After Corona.
After
Well,
Corona,
they may be looking.
yeah.
They're
So,
probably going to be. They're probably out there hovering over us right now while you and I
yeah,
are sitting here.
absolutely.
Imagine.
Absolutely, that was wonderful. Tina ji, thank you so much for being part of this.
Lovely talking.
And
Thank you.
we have learned a lot, beyond, uh, the world of singing, into what really goes on in the heart and mind. And I look forward to sharing your journey with everyone.